What if I told you that there are certain secrets that God's chosen ones should never, and I mean never, reveal? Yes, even you have things you've never shared, perhaps out of caution or wisdom, but there's more to it than you think. There is an immense power in silence, a strength that goes far beyond what most people can comprehend. Silence can be your strongest weapon, your mightiest defense. In fact, silence could be the most powerful statement you ever make. In today's world, where everyone is quick to speak, quick to share, and quick to broadcast every detail of their life, the chosen ones must stand apart. If you are one of God's chosen ones, I urge you, never reveal these things to anyone. These are the secrets that guard your destiny, your blessings, and your breakthrough. To receive the wisdom of this sermon, type in the comments, "I am receiving," as a declaration of your faith. Without further ado, let's dive into number 1. 1. Your future plans and dreams, guard them with your life. The first secret that you must guard with your life is your future plans and dreams. Chosen ones, listen closely. The enemy doesn't have direct access to your future. He doesn't have a crystal ball that shows him where God is leading you. No, the enemy works through assumptions. He gathers his intel based on what you carelessly reveal in casual conversation. The more information he can gather, the more ammunition he has to sabotage what God has in store for you. Proverbs 29 verse 11 says it clearly. A fool expresses all his feelings, but the wise suppress them. Let that sink in. The wise know when to remain silent. They understand the value of protecting what God has shown them until the appointed time. Don't rush to announce revelations that are still in their infancy. Don't share your dreams prematurely, especially when they're still fragile and vulnerable to attack. Take Mary, the mother of Jesus, as an example. She was entrusted with a miraculous promise, a destiny that would change the world forever. But she didn't run around telling everyone. No, she incubated that promise in silence, protecting it until the right time. Mary understood something that every chosen one must understand. Dreams are like babies. They need to be nurtured, protected, and kept away from harsh elements until they're strong enough to survive on their own. When you're in the early stages of birthing your dream, the last thing you need is outside interference, misunderstandings, or premature skepticism. Sharing your dreams with the wrong people can bring unnecessary advice and negativity. Keep your vision private and surrender it to God in prayer. Some things are meant to be kept between you and the Lord. Yes, He may direct you to share certain aspects with a few trusted individuals, people who will pray for you and stand in agreement with you, but resist the urge to broadcast your plans to the world before they're fully established. By keeping quiet about what God is doing in your life, you give your dream room to grow and flourish in a safe environment. You block the enemy's attempts to interfere with God's work. Remember, not all visions are meant to be shared immediately. Some need time to mature in the secret place. This strategic silence protects your purpose and increases the likelihood of its successful realization. 2. Family matters. Keep the sanctuary secure. The second area where silence is golden for the chosen ones is in family matters. Your family is your inner circle, and not every disagreement, financial struggle, or health issue should be made public. Don't expose the vulnerabilities of your household to people who have no business knowing your business. In a world where oversharing is the norm, resist the urge to air your family's issues on social media or in casual conversations. Whether it's a marital dispute, conflicts with your children, or financial challenges, keep those matters private. The enemy thrives on division, and when you expose your family's weaknesses, you're giving him a foothold. Proverbs 17 verse 9 says, "Whoever promotes love covers an offense," and 1 Peter 4 verse 8 reminds us, "Love covers a multitude of sins." Your role in the family is to protect, not expose. Be like Noah's sons, who covered their father's nakedness rather than expose it for ridicule. Handle your family issues with wisdom and discretion, seeking counsel only from trusted, spiritually mature individuals who will pray for you and guard your secrets. Imagine if Mary had run to Elizabeth to complain about Joseph when he initially wanted to leave her upon discovering her pregnancy. That would have caused confusion and gossip. Instead, she trusted God and allowed him to work things out. Don't fall into the trap of turning minor family issues into major public spectacles. Handle them in private, and you'll see God's hand of restoration move in ways you never imagined. Family matters are sacred and should be dealt with in love, grace, and discretion. When you protect your family from public scrutiny, you create an environment where healing and reconciliation can truly take place. 3. Your first victory and breakthrough wait on God's timing. One of the hardest things to do is remain silent after a breakthrough. Your first victory is precious, but it's also fragile. When God blesses you with a breakthrough, whether it's a new job, a financial increase, or a significant opportunity, it's natural to want to shout it from the rooftops. But hear me clearly. This is a time for silence, not celebration. There's wisdom in waiting on God's timing before you announce your success to the world. You see, early victories are like young plants. They need time to root and grow before they're strong enough to withstand external pressures. Proverbs 21 verse 5 tells us, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." Rushing to publicize your breakthrough can actually undermine it, leaving it vulnerable to spiritual attacks, envy, and unnecessary competition. The enemy is always looking for ways to sabotage what God is doing in your life, and if you're too quick to reveal your success, you might inadvertently give him the opportunity he's been waiting for. Look at King Saul, for example. After being anointed as king, the prophet Samuel instructed him to wait for God's signs before taking any action. 1 Samuel 10 verse 8. Saul's anointing was real, but it needed time to be established in God's perfect timing. When David defeated Goliath, he didn't go boasting about his victory prematurely. David remained silent, allowing his triumph to speak for itself when the time was right. Now, imagine if David had rushed to announce his victory before his reign was fully secured. His enemies would have had all the information they needed to attack him, and his destiny could have been jeopardized. Chosen ones, your first breakthrough is not the time to boast. It's a time to let your victory mature in private. There will be a time for public celebration, but early success needs protection. It's in these early stages that the enemy will try to steal, kill, and destroy the very blessing God has given you. He'll use jealousy, distraction, and opposition to try to uproot what hasn't fully taken hold yet. But by keeping your victory between you and God, you give it time to grow strong and unshakable. Consider the story of Joseph. He was given a dream of his future greatness, but when he prematurely shared that dream with his brothers, it led to envy and betrayal. Genesis 37. Joseph's breakthrough was real, but the timing was wrong. He had to endure trials and tribulations before that dream could fully manifest. His story reminds us that early victories often come with challenges, and waiting on God's timing is essential for the fulfillment of his promises. There's a time to speak and a time to remain silent. Right after a breakthrough, when you're riding the high of success, it's easy to want to tell everyone. But chosen ones, exercise restraint. Protect what God has given you. Nurture your success in silence. Let God establish it. And when the time is right, He will reveal it to the world in a way that no one can deny. Remember, God's timing is perfect, and patience is key to sustaining the victories He gives you. Don't let impatience or the desire for recognition rob you of the fullness. The message emphasizes the importance of guarding certain personal aspects of life in silence, especially for those who feel they are God's chosen ones. It provides biblical examples and wisdom about why one should not reveal everything, especially prematurely. Here are some key takeaways. Guarding dreams and plans. Your dreams and future plans are vulnerable in their infancy. The enemy doesn't know your future but can attack based on what you reveal. Silence is crucial until God appoints the time to share. Like Mary, who kept the promise of Jesus to herself, we must protect our dreams until they're mature. Family matters. Family is sacred, and issues within the family should be dealt with in private, not shared with the world. Publicizing problems can invite division and spiritual attacks. Instead, handle family issues with love, grace, and discretion. Victory and breakthrough. After a breakthrough, it's tempting to share, but early success is fragile. Like David, who didn't boast about defeating Goliath immediately, it's better to let victories mature in private, waiting for God's timing before making them public. Financial situation. Flaunting wealth or financial success can invite spiritual attacks, envy, and greed. God warns us to build wealth quietly, avoiding unnecessary attention. Like King Hezekiah, who mistakenly showed his wealth to his enemies, oversharing can lead to unwanted consequences. Spiritual encounters. Spiritual experiences, such as dreams or divine revelations, are not meant for public consumption. These encounters should be nurtured privately, allowing time for growth. Like Paul and John, some revelations are meant to be kept secret, shared only when God directs. The central theme is discretion and patience. Not everything needs to be shared. Silence is a powerful tool in protecting one's purpose, family, wealth, victories, and spiritual life. Trusting in God's timing and being wise about what to reveal shields one from unnecessary attacks and helps fulfill God's will. In essence, the message calls for wisdom in guarding the sacred aspects of life until they are ready to be revealed.